Hey everyone, Scott here with MotivatedCodePro.com. Today I'm excited. We're going to start a 6-part series about how to become a successful consultant as a software developer, which includes 5 keys to becoming a successful consultant as a software developer. Stay with me.
Shut up and sit down.
Alright, thanks for coming back. I'm glad you're here. Today is part 1 of a 6-part series on how to become a successful consultant as a software developer. And today I want to talk about why I became a consultant and how I got to the place where I was consulting, and so a little bit about my journey. And to begin with, we've been running this consultancy called Pinch Hitter Solutions for 11 years, and so I've learned a lot over the years. And what I wanted to do, and the reason why I'm doing this, the original reason for the whole YouTube channel, was really to share my experience and try to help other people sort of avoid a few pitfalls and to make efficient steps as they work through their process of building their career as an independent contractor, or as a freelancer, or as a consultant. So that's what this is all about, and that's what this series of videos is about. And so about me, okay, so when I was really young, I fell in love with programming. You could say I lived to program for a long time. It was the reason I got out of bed for years, and I really love that. And as a result of working really hard, I progressed up through the corporate ladder, and I at some point learned to manage people, and I was still very technical, and so I really enjoyed all of that. And then I was offered a CIO position, and this is almost maybe 18 years in. So it was a lot of time, and I had done a good bit of consulting and contracting along the way myself. But at this point, this was like the end game, man. This was it. I was going to be the CIO. And so I spent 4 years in that role, and I loved it at first. And even before my CIO roles and other senior management roles, I loved the idea of participating in the way we grew the company, the way we put projects together that affected the bottom line. And that's a big deal. And so that was exciting to me, but I still had my hands in it. And when the CIO job came along, after a while it became fairly clear to me that I could not really program and be an effective manager. So I worked a ridiculous amount of hours trying to keep my hands in it and trying to satisfy the management responsibility that I had. And it was just too much. And I had to look in the mirror one day and say, yeah, I don't like all of the strategic planning and meetings, to go to meetings, to plan more meetings, to schedule the next meeting, and all of that rinse and repeat stuff. So at some point I was very unhappy, and I realized it like an epiphany that programming and the things that sort of moved me along in my career were the very things as a CIO that I really shouldn't do or really couldn't do and be an effective manager. So you could say that being a good programmer got me promoted right out of being a programmer. And that was a miserable thought for me, and I didn't like it. And I had to be honest with myself and set my ego aside and admit that I really missed programming in the heart of software development more than I liked the title and the responsibility and the money and all of the stuff that comes with that. It just wasn't me. I'm not the guy that can evolve out of software development and keep my hands out of it. And so that really didn't leave a lot of choices. I could back up. I could take a different job as a software developer, or somewhere between software developer and kind of senior manager, CIO kind of stuff. There's plenty of mixed roles where you can manage the technology pieces and still be involved in software. But I thought, well, what can I do that's different, right? So, and along the way and over the years, I had this idea. Check out this video about a piece of software that I wrote, and I wanted to have a software company. And so having a consultancy is sort of in that same vein, and I thought, man, I could do that. I could become I could become a consultant, and I'd been hiring consultants and contractors, and I knew what they were about, and I understood the requirements of the skill set and all that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. And, I was super excited, and I spent months thinking about it and kind of in fantasy land about how I was going to, help other people solve their technology problems. I had a lot of experience with building software. I was a skilled Java and a JavaScript developer, and I had a lifetime of AS400 programming and RPG and CL and all of that technology stuff in addition to that. So I felt like I had a lot to offer. But still, there were a lot of how questions. I'm going to refer to my board here so I read some of this stuff. Here are 10 hows that I struggled with, right? How do I stay busy as a consultant? How do you find work, essentially, right? Number 2, how do I market and sell? Number 3, how do I close deals when I have an opportunity, right? What if I'm competing with other consultants and companies and stuff, consultancies even? So, number 4, how do I price my offerings? I mean, with different geographies, different parts of the country, all of that is in play, right? So how do I find additional programming resources is number 5, if I need to expand my group, which we did over time in our company. Number 6, how do I manage finance and accounting? That's a big one, man. I don't underestimate that one. Number 7, how do I handle legal issues? And how do I, when contracts are put in front of me, how do I manage those? Number 8, how do I grow my company beyond just me as Joe Freelancer or Scott Freelancer, right? Scott Freelancer, that's nice. Anyway, number 9, how do I manage contracts? And that sort of catches on the legal part, but there's more than just the legal stuff in that. That's, the things that are required of you are part of that too, like, what they want and what you expect and when you're going to get paid, and a lot of contract stuff, right? And then how do I stay relevant technologically? And with the other things that I just mentioned, the first 9, there's a lot there, and so staying current with technology as you manage all those moving parts is complicated. And I'm going to talk about all of that in the subsequent videos. And so how I evolved to this YouTube channel, how I evolved to do this at all was the idea that at the end of last year I was thinking about all of the lessons I had learned, and I thought, man, when I started, there just wasn't a lot out there about how to do this, how to grow a consultancy, how to become a consultant, outside of, find work and stay busy. There just wasn't. In 2007, I didn't find anything, to be honest. I may have missed it, but I didn't see it. And so to me, it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and swearing, a lot of late nights and early mornings, and just a lot of work, and sometimes a lot of swing and miss at things. I would try, and they weren't always successful, but I've learned a lot of lessons. And so this series of videos and this YouTube channel in specific is really about how do I help somebody else skip a few of the problems that I've encountered, and I can put some perspective and some things in front of you to help you take that next step if you're willing to do it and you're wanting to do it. You really have to ask yourself if you want to do it, and I'm going to talk about all of those in the next 5 videos. Go to motivatedcodepro.com, check out the blog entry for this post, and I have an ebook on this whole series that you can download as well, or that you can have emailed to you. Anyway, I am Scott with Motivated Code Pro. I'll see you on the next video for video number 2 in this 6-part series. Keep coming back.